Get it out.
I
Get
know.
it out.
It be me. I'm the issue. She good at it because she acting all the other shit. Yeah, she good at it.
You know, we keeping it classy I'm keeping it classy this first episode.
Oh, okay. Is that a little shade? Okay, I think it was a little bit. A little shade. Okay.
No.
Holy girl.
No shade at all.
Oh, honey, it's been thrown, but we'll get through it.
No.
Okay, so hello everyone. This is our first episode of Yet Here We Are podcast. I am one of the co-hosts, Shaq.
And I'm the other, Abigail, also known as Holy Grail.
All right then, hey. And this is our beautiful guest.
Hello, I am Laneri, aka Lulu, but what she knows me as is Breed to Love. You know, Bree, you know.
Oh my goodness, you are so silly. So thank you for tuning in with us for our first episode. So much fun. We're excited. And so let's kick it off. So for our first episode, we're going to be talking about the value of a young woman. Interesting.
Yes. So I guess we can start off by asking you, what would you say would define the value of a woman?
Of a young woman.
Young woman or a woman?
A young woman at first, growing up.
Okay.
So let's just say, I guess we could start from high school because most girls are having sex it starts in high school.
Okay, so in my opinion of that, really I guess it's how everybody's foundation is, kind of, because everybody has different values of it. But to me, when I was growing up, it was, hey, we ain't worried about boys. We worried about sports and grades. We ain't doing none of that. And sex wasn't even a thing for me. That was completely out the question. So I had to learn up front, my self-worth as a young lady. And I was even just being respectful, responsible, head on straight, just driven. And I think a lot of females kind of, I won't say they lack that, but they don't know the direction to go in to keep that motive going. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's something that everybody has to work on. But at a young age, it's hard to find that out because you got to think of too, who's around them. That's and true. Everybody don't have that good, that good leadership. Cause everybody's they friends, they out, we lit. And no, we gotta stay on the path. Come on now, y'all gotta help me stay on the right path.
Well, I guess for me, when I think of a young woman's value, I think nowadays, I think it's very messed up because a lot of girls, they value the wrong things at a young age. And for me, I blame that on the parents or whoever's raising them. Mm-hmm. I think young girls value makeup before they value respect. I think they value sexy clothing over everything. So I guess they just value material things over respect and just kind of really not understanding that how much value they are. And I also think that they put sex, they think that's a good thing at a young age.
Yes.
I think young women think that.
Yes.
But it's not. It's kind of bad at a young age.
And that makes a good point. Even seeing that all throughout high school, we saw it, it's you come in as a freshman and you see the seniors. And they really on man, I could get that, I can get you. And she's on I gotta look like this and feel like this to get him, and you don't.
Yeah.
So they really do, I wanna say, hey, how it sounds, but they selling themselves early. They selling their bodies, they selling their purity, their emotions to these guys who don't really know how to deal with women. So they don't know their worth at all.
At all, yes. Selling themselves. Ooh, I like that.
Yes.
Selling themselves to the wrong damn mark.
They're not selling their soul, but they really selling their bodies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and it's
I can definitely agree with that.
I want to say my experience I was basically pruned. I come from a Hispanic background, so we are raised to be wives. No, literally. Your value is based on how good of a wife you can be to a man. And how well you can cook, how well you can care for the home. And I mean, those are good values to have, but you should have them for yourself. And your value shouldn't be dependent on solely what you can do for a man, And I think that misconstrued my, if I wasn't in a relationship, like, what am I doing? And that is unhealthy, because you should be able to love yourself and thrive on your own.
So I guess basically what I got from what you said was like, instead of a young woman being learning how to be in her natural state, instead of learning to be in their natural state, these young women these days are learning to be hoes.
Social media.
But it's true. It's true. So instead of young women fulfilling their natural state, as in like, and when I say natural state, I'm meaning, being clean, being feminine, being did I say that right? Being feminine. Y'all get it.
Yes.
Being clean, being feminine, being respectful, and holding themselves to certain standards, whether it's mentally or physically. But instead, they're just learning to be like out there in the streets.
Well, I think it's a product of, the generation coming up. They have technology and social media kind of raising them. Yeah. And parenting, I think there's a lot of lazy parenting, I hear.
I can agree with that.
That parents aren't really looking to actively put their kids in different scenarios or environments that are teaching them certain lessons. It's like, just go on your iPad and leave me alone. Yeah. Like, it's really kind of, there's a disconnect as to passing down certain values and traditions and mindset that this generation is not getting.
Okay, that is very true. So, speaking like about a young woman's value, y'all might not agree with me, but I feel like once a young woman, since we're gonna start with the high school age, because a lot of girls are having sex in high school. I think when you have sex too early as a young woman, that makes your value go down automatically, because the earlier you have sex, the higher chance that it's gonna be at least two more within a 3 to 6 month time span right after that first one. So let's just say you having sex at 17, your first time. Usually after that, between 3 to 6 months, it's at least gonna be two more right after that. So I feel like when you have sex too early, it's like, okay, I'm 17. Okay, I had sex once, and then, okay, you're doing it again, and now you're just out there, and then by the time you like 30 and you having all these sex with all these people and you living the good life and you out there in the streets, flaunting, whatever, now you want somebody to marry you. Now you want to wait till you already used up. You want to wait till you had your fun. You want to wait till you got like 30 to 40 bodies. You want to be, so now it's like you want somebody to like respect you and to do, like, you want this man to do all these things for you, but it's like you could have had that at an earlier time in your life, versus now that you all used up and you done been through all that shit. Now you want somebody to like try to come and like save you type of deal. You know what I mean?
I would say I disagree.
I disagree.
Yes. I don't think it's how you start all the time. I think it's how you finish, or how you are presently. And we all are learning lessons, and we all have made mistakes. It may not all have been in the field of sex, but we know that this is a journey. We're all on this journey. We don't all have the shortcuts and the best advice. And I also think like the numbers thing is I want to say it kind of doesn't matter.
Wow,
it doesn't matter.
Let me tell you why. And what? I hate to cut you off with that.
Okay, so just to be clear, y'all don't think body count matters.
No. And let me,
even as a young woman, as a young girl, y'all don't think that shit matters.
I think it is.
Oh my God.
Please, I think we're on the same page.
Okay, let me.
I don't like y'all, but go ahead.
And I am not at all encouraging young women to have multiple partners. But let's say, I think definitely teaching women, it is the quality of the people that you are doing it with. Because it's like, there are plenty of women that that probably been, but their list of people are quality. And it's like, you know, when you're talking about even women, like the value of a woman, you're looking at their mental, their spiritual and emotional, physical, like all these elements, like, and that spiritual piece is where the sex kind of resonates. Absolutely. So if you're having sex with partners that actually feed and grow you as a person to make you your best self, that leads you to that path, then having different experiences may not be a bad thing.
But young women aren't thinking about what you just said, though. They're not thinking about spiritual. They ain't thinking about the right person because they don't know who the hell the right person is.
So I think they do. Everybody knows right from wrong. Everybody knows. It's like when you're young, you knew not to date this knucklehead, this who, but because that's what you wanted, you went after it. So I feel like a girl, even though she's had multiple bodies growing up or whatever, I feel like that doesn't really make her lose her value. Now, that's like the whole, how the guys say it, if it's a lock and there's multiple keys to the lock.
I forgot all about that. I did hear that. I forgot all about that saying.
Okay, I feel like that's stupid because at the end of the day, if she knows what she's doing with certain people, that's her business. And I don't feel like that does make her any less of who she is or lose her values to it. Like she said, everybody, brings something different to who you are with, even sexually or not. Sexually, that's soul ties. Okay, that shit is real. Okay, you being with multiple people, it takes away from you, and nobody wants to express that enough. Like you're giving yourself sexually to somebody, you're losing a part of you every single time. So do I feel like it's really losing your value? No, but you're also still learning about yourself, like you said. So at the end of the day, I don't think it's really her losing her value, just like with men. So does that mean because a man has multiple bodies, does that mean he's like this straight up alpha because he knows what he's doing because he has all these bodies?
But men and women are different though.
But it shouldn't be though.
But I know.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, so because now because say I have 2 bodies and you have 10, that makes me more valuable because I only have 2?
Yeah.
I don't think that's the way it goes though. Because I can still bring more to the table than what I have with my body count.
That's true too, but I think that men, it's different. I look at it like this. Like women, majority of women, we want men. And not only do we want a man, but we want a certain kind of man. So because we want a certain kind of man, we got to move differently. We have to move for what we want. But with men, it don't really, they out there doing whatever they doing. They just got to choose to be like, okay, I pick her. I'm going to settle with her. I choose her. But for women, it's different. We got to hold ourselves like to whatever we want. Because like the majority of young women, so basically going back to like the whole young woman thing. This is something that I also don't like. It seems like young women now, they are dressing themselves up and grooming themselves to be to be grown before their time and also grown for the wrong type of men because social media has them thinking like, you need to look like this so you can get with this rapper or you can get with this ball player type of thing. I agree. And I want my message to be to young women that you don't have to look like this to get a rapper, or to get like a ball player, but like, is that really what you want? Or do you want the lifestyle that comes with it? Like, what do you want? Because nowadays, these young women, they don't know what they want. They know what social media is telling them what they want.
Really the fact that
but I don't think they know.
Their value is just like, they don't know how to live for themselves. It's just straight on, what I gotta do to
get this man to woo-doo. Like you said, you're raised to be independent. And I think that's something that a lot of women don't know how to do anymore. To really be by yourself, to learn how to cook, clean, really have your self-worth, respect, really how to, again, treating a man is a bonus. You being with that man is a bonus. Him treating you well is a bonus. But for you by yourself, you need to have that, like you are the motherfucking table.
You are so interesting.
You gotta be that value.
Listen,
I am that value.
I got into it with somebody because it was a guy and I was like, women are the prize. And he was like,
I got pushback for both of y'all.
Look, I was like, and he disagreed. He was like, I think men are the prize too.
So you said women is a prize, and you said the men. So you say women are the prize to the man, and you said men are the bonus. It's a bonus.
Men are a bonus.
Yeah,
So,
they're not the prize.
Y'all are so interesting because I guess I see things a little different. I
think that's also based on how you were raised too.
Okay.
Like I said, it's values. And I'm not saying how you raised is wrong, because some people are raised, okay, let me just specify that. Hispanic, cultures, they are really taught to take care of a man, like as a family.
Yeah, they are.
You cook, you clean, you do whatever.
Yeah.
He pays the bill. They have that set foundation. And I hate how it sounds. Excuse me for coming like that. Black people, black cultures, we so independent. Like, we don't need a man.
But you want to know where that comes from, though?
But it's
that comes from one person household, one parent households, whether it's a single dad or a single mom.
But you can also be married and still be a single parent.
I've heard. Ooh,
but see, that's another conversation.
That's another conversation. That's another conversation. Yes, definitely another conversation.
Foundations of how a girl.
I haven't heard that.
Really?
But married life is a conversation.
No,
that
that's in general. Even if you're with somebody.
I've seen some videos and notes about that.
Yeah, you could be married and you could still be a single mother.
I've heard that. I've heard women say that. That's actually
because you could still be together. Yes, you're taking care of the bills, but you're taking care of everything else. You're not getting.
I've heard women feel like that.
You're taking care of the kids. You're losing yourself.
Okay, stop. We got to talk about that on a different episode.
Sorry,
that's good.
I'll prove my point.
You're going to have to come back for that one because you interesting. you interesting.
Sorry, y'all.
Okay, so I guess what I was saying was, I don't see us women as the prize because, not that I don't think highly of myself, because I do. And not that any other woman out there shouldn't think highly of herself, but for my own opinion, I don't see us women as the prize because it's not the men who want to be married or who want kids and who want this and that, or who wants a title and who wants those certain things, because a man can easily have his bloodline flowing with different baby mamas without being married. But I feel like it's more known for a woman to want to be married, to want to have her own household, to want to have her own family. I feel like that's more of a woman thing. So with that being said, because of we want all that, the man is the prize, because it's not easy to find a man that actually wants that shit. It's hard. It's not a lot of men that's like, hey, pick me, I'm trying to be a husband, woo woo, hey.
I think once they reach a point of maturity, they desire to protect, to have their tribe, to have legacy. Like, these are things that come after they realize, okay, what is life really about?
And a lot of the times they're like 40 when they get there.
But then they realize, okay, I have to pick wisely of the woman who I choose to interact with. Yeah. So I'm always gonna hit my stance. I think women will always be the prize.
You think your ass think that too, huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't think that.
I mean,
I hope nobody hates
it. It kind of went off a little topic, but it's still on the topic.
Yeah,
it's still value.
Yeah, it's still value.
Yes.
Or as a young woman or a young man, it's still value, and you gotta learn that up front. Because starting at that age, that's when you gotta learn stuff, and that's how you grow and mold into it, and that's how you become the person that you are. Even mid-20s, 30s, that's how you evolve. So
I mean, that's why they have those quotes like, behind every great man is a great woman. Like, women enhance. They basically just, they're the...
You give a woman a house, make it a home. You give a woman, sperm, she make it a baby. We are the factory. I'm not downplaying men. Because y'all are, I love my brother.
Are valuable. We're not saying you're not.
But I think women just are just a little bit better.
I mean, come on. We can take a soul and create a body for it and breathe life. Like, having a womb already puts you at a different stature in the whole hierarchy of human life.
I mean, I guess
You're
all
a
those
creator.
things are cute to hear, y'all, but I'm still gonna stand on, I don't think we're the prize because it's easy for a man to find women to do what he wants them to do, but it's hard to find it's hard to find a man I'm
about to give her another topic because I'm about to shut it down. I'm not gonna start it, but I'm gonna tell her it's another topic, okay? Because at the end of the day, all right, men could do woo-woo, but at the end of the day, every woman also is not meant to be a wife. And every man is not meant to be a husband. So every man wants to be like, oh, I'm the prize because I could do A, B, C, D. Baby, no, not really. because
Can they hear that again?
I don't think they could. Mic check. Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Everybody is not, it always, see, and it comes back to the original conversation. It is all about value, but at the end of the day, we still bring more to the table. And I hate how that sounds like, yeah, because like I said, nowadays, women, another conversation. See, let me stop talking about
you gonna
stuff.
have to, girl, we gonna have to
Women
take
doing
notes
more
there.
than men. Like nowadays, women have the houses, the cars, the full careers, and it's men who living off women. But that's another conversation.
Yeah, go on, take a sip on that. Go on, take a sip. Oh my
Value.
goodness.
That's
But
all
I
I'm
guess,
saying. Value.
What I was trying to say is like, I guess the reason why I think men are the prize, and I think women should kind of see that. And the reason why I say that, so going back to the young woman knowing her value, majority of women, if they don't know, by the time they graduate high school, their value has already went down, because a lot of them are having sex with 2 to 5 guys in high school alone. So your value is already crushed. Boom, that's that. Right, in high school. So once you do that, your value is boom, knocked down. So then let's just say you do go to college, or if you don't go to college. So between the time you graduated, so between your high school years, young woman, you knocking down 5 guys, you got 5 bodies, boom. Your damn value is already down, boom, down. Then let's just say you go to college. You gonna knock down probably 5 fucking more. Boom, knock down even more. So now you're out there, you living your pretty girl life, you doing what you want, you're just out there in the street, going on your little girls trips, this, that, and the third. I don't need a man, I'm independent. Then by the time you hit 35, you're like, oh, I want to be married, I want kids, and it's like, I want this type of man. But then that woman's like, because women, we are way more picky, and we're like, I want this type of man, I want that type of man.
Off of sex, off of bodies, and women bring more to the table.
And what they value though, they value materialistic, they value lifestyle over making their.
Still be bougie and luxury and have a body count of 50. 100. If I'm saying I do.
Did you see that? She on the side note. She was like, I think you're taking this too far.
I'm just saying, like, I feel like that don't matter. Just I have so much experience. What do I call it?
Yes.
She is cracking me up.
Yes.
Experience.
Thank you.
Because I have more experience than I mean I lose value.
No, yeah, and I've never gotten into an adult relationship or dating and they ask me what my body count is. They don't care.
Because that's some childish shit.
They don't care.
But a lot of the times, like, you don't even have to ask. People can kind of like gauge you just from conversation.
Are you saying they're assuming their own?
I mean, is it not right to say that we all assume something?
I'll just say this: as long as you're clean.
Like, for an example, when I hang around certain females and I hang around them and we out and we having fun, this, that, and the third, I'm not gonna tell you to your face like she out there like that, but I can kind of like gauge it of what you doing and shit. Right,
yeah, but maybe they're flirty.
I think it's
and
natural that everybody assumes.
I can very provocative and everything, but I can still have a body count of 5.
That's true.
But you never know.
Yeah,
so you're basing my value off of how I'm acting.
I get that all the time.
Men do, but I mean, I think that's a natural thing to do. Like, I'm gonna go by them actions. What them actions just showing me.
You can make observations without judgment. So people tell me all the time they probably think my body count up there, and
What'd you say, up there?
up there, but because of what I do, I'm a burlesque dancer.
Yeah.
So yes, we shed layers to tell a story.
Right.
But and I'm flirty in nature, like, you know what I'm saying? But I have a limited amount of experiences by choice. But because people want to make assumptions based off how I move in this world, they're wrong. But that's why I don't care what people think, because
you don't care what people think now, but like a lot of women say that they don't care what people think, but when they get like 35, it's like, well, I want all these things, and I want the man I want them to have this and have this. But it's like, girl, you can't do all that. You can't expect all that after you done did all that.
I'll give y'all an example. Exactly why this value shit is gonna be crazy, because she keep using that as a sexy thing. I straight up values. My mother military. Boom, I'm military, right? Head on structure. Cool, right? But I got out and I was.
Your mama pretty too. She's cute.
Everybody love mama.
Yeah, her mama.
Okay. I'm just kidding. But I had the whole straight mentality, like values. I didn't play that crap, right? Yeah. Okay, come down to, I have my little bodies here and there. Like, everybody gotta get some, But I got out the military and I started dancing. I was a stripper. And off rip, it didn't even matter. Like, I'm a dancer now. Everybody got that whole, you're a stripper, you this and that, you're a hoe. But when I was at the clubs, people knew of how I was, just my mannerisms by itself. They knew that I wasn't that type of female. So it doesn't matter if I had a certain amount of bodies or not, or what I was doing exactly. They could tell that I wasn't that type of female. So even if I'm in the action of dancing, I'm strippers, you know what I'm saying? They didn't look at me like that at the end of the day. So I still wouldn't base it off of what somebody's doing or how they're doing it. Just think it's like they don't have any value at all.
So other than the whole like body things, another thing that I was kind of driving the whole young women value is that what I was saying was like, besides like all that sex at an early age, what I was saying was even the stuff that they actually value, like they will value like material things rather than a man respecting them, but they would rather be disrespected just as long as they got the latest outfit on or like the latest. Yeah, and
I understand.
Women that say that, I'll be like, no.
I understand.
It's a no for me. So that's the other side of it where I'm coming from is where young women are. They will, as long as they have
Chanel,
whatever's popular at the time, makeup. they got their designer on and whatever hair did, nails did, whatever. But they will still. It's like, okay, well, I got these material things, you know. But you know, he could disrespect me constantly. But as long as he buy me this, as long as he buy me that. So that's kind of like what I mean. Also, like the value is really bent. Like they will rather, like if he can buy this for me, then he could treat me how whatever. And I think a lot of young women are moving like that.
That's a lack of values.
Because they don't know. They don't know because they too busy at social media. Like, well, how do I get this bag? How do I get these shoes? What do I gotta go to
like
to
you
get through
said,
that?
it is not their fault initially, though. It's their parents for not instilling any.
But is it really their parents' fault though? And I only said that because, like I said, everybody knows right from wrong. You know, you don't need to stay with this man to get this bag. You can get it yourself.
I mean, what if your parents taught you that? That's what you know.
That is true, but I'm saying for those who had the correct guidance, they still, like I said, you're going to choose right or wrong regardless of what you want to do.
Yeah, what you want to do.
Their parents can be like, you know better, you know you can work, you can, you know, a man don't need to put his hands on you, he don't need to do this and that and that. At the end of the day, if they're going to stay in that situation, they're going to stay regardless. That's what they want to do.
I was going to say I was raised by my father. I was raised by a single dad, right? My mom, she would pop in and out of my life. She would teach me things like, you need to secure a rich man and do whatever you got to do to make sure you're taken care of. Because anything else is just goofy.
Oh, wow, that's interesting. We're going to have to talk about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was...
So how was your dad? What did your dad teach you?
My dad taught me to get everything on my own.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's why I say a man is a bonus.
And your parents weren't together?
My parents were not. Okay. They were divorced.
I just want to ask context because that matters.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's my point. A man is a bonus. Like, you're going to always want to be independent, do stuff on your own. Now, whatever he brings to the table, that's y'all together. But you yourself need to have your own shit. Period.
And then there's people who teach their children the tribe mentality. Like, don't be so independent. Like, learn how to be a part of a community, be a part of a group, and how you guys can add to each other. And I think hyper independence was because they were starting to make laws about getting food stamps and housing assistance, and you couldn't have a man in the home, and you know, different occurrences that happened in the Black community that made women say, okay, I can't have you here because I'm getting free money.
Right.
So I'm gonna have to figure out how to do this by myself to get this money, and you gon', you know.
But you know what? Yeah. Even though that was like kind of before our time when that stuff was happening, and I just feel like now we're at a point in life where women have to stop having kids irresponsibly. I'm not talking about those other situations where like you're raped or something else. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about women that you're having sex at a young age, and when you decide to have sex and you know you ain't got no money, you ain't got a pot to piss in, you have nothing to take care of that child, are you thinking about the consequences? So just know that you should feel horrible if you decide to have sex, and then at that and it's unprotected, just know that you have a chance of bringing in a child and you already don't have shit. There's a big chance that child can can just grow up in I don't know, in all type of conditions because of the choice that you make. So I feel like that's another thing with young women. You're out here having sex, you don't know the consequences, and then you have sex. Let's just say you do get pregnant at an early age, and then you crying because the so-called daddy ain't acting how you want him to act. But the whole time, this is who he is because number one, he's young as shit, and he been showing you who he was the whole time. So now you're trying to put a narrative on somebody that never even wanted all this shit.
You good? You feel some type of way? I'm just
No, I'm just saying, I'm just like that. Yeah, and it just really pisses me off because I hate seeing young women because I'm very girl power, girl this that. Like I always try to get us women together. I always try to do stuff, but I just hate when I see young women doing stupid shit. It blows me. It pisses me off.
I don't think they.
It really does.
I
hate it.
I don't think
I
a lot
every
of
young woman is special. By the way, I do think that. I do, but I just hate when they be doing stupid shit.
But it's just some people just don't have proper guidance, right? They're just
I can agree to that.
I know this feels good. This makes me happy.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just keep doing it. And they don't really understand the consequences and what follows those actions. A lot of times we do things and we make decisions without knowing or understanding what could happen, right?
Right, yeah.
Some people are like, oh, I'm gonna just put their phone number online and have people blast, not knowing. That's actually that's against the law.
Yeah.
You know, and then harassment. A lot of people don't know. You know, they're like, oh, I was just being petty. No, you're harassing at this point. Yeah. But it's just when you don't know, when you're not guided, you just kind of moving through life and you're doing things out of emotion and you're not. And I have more compassion. I'm not mad at them, and I have more compassion to say it wasn't the best. Yeah. Let's figure out how we can prevent other women from making the same mistake and how we can help you make better decisions moving forward.
So how can you do that? How can you help somebody
who
doesn't even know their value or how to even get that? That's the real question that we have to keep asking how do we help young women? Because social media is a powerful effort.
Yeah.
I mean, they have programs like mentorship programs for young women, but it's not accessible. But it's really on us, making sure when we have children that we pass on, these mindsets.
And that's
these
what
beliefs.
I was gonna say. Yeah. That's why I said in order to if you really want to try to fix that problem or try to even move in the right direction, I get it, all these programs, but people really ain't acting on them. The real issue is it has to start with the woman herself. You just gotta know when you do things, you need to know the consequences of them.
You know enough is enough.
Yeah,
but
you gotta know.
Some women just don't know.
Yeah. But now, but look, there's so much social media out there now. So now it's hard to be excuses because the internet is a lot of shit is on there. It's hard.
I think women know when to stop.
I think they do too because it's too much internet out there to be she doesn't know.
You get too deep in something.
It's just too much.
All right, you gotta pull out now for the safety of yourself and for your
So what age would you say that's at?
Girl, we still learning to this day. I'm 27 and I'm still learning about my own value and stuff to this day. Yeah. It's a learning stepping stone as you go.
So I guess it's kind of different for me because the way I grew up, not saying my life is perfect because it damn sure wasn't because it was poor shit at one point until my daddy got on his shit and he made things right. But I know my parents were married and I was blessed enough to see a man in his natural state and a woman in her natural state. Mm-hmm. And my mom, she was a stay-at-home mom most of the time, but in the early stages of my parents' marriage, she was working while my dad went to school and then he commissioned as an officer. Then once he got his officer commission in the military, he told my mom she didn't have to work, so she was strictly a house mom. When I mean to tell you, the house was spotless. We were always taken care of. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. It was literally she had that housewife shit down, A+ down. And then my dad was out, working, making sure we was in sports. He was, letting my sisters know, since we're talking about young women, he taught us how important fitness was. So without sitting us down, obviously, but the shit that he did in our life was okay, your health is important. So for me to show you that your health is important, during the summer, you're going to get your ass up at 5 a.m. and you're going to exercise. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. And the way he moved, and that's how he was. He was real sharp, especially on us girls. Yeah. He was structured as hell when it came to the girls. So then it was just like, I seen how he was and I was like, oh my God, I want to be a career woman. Then I seen my mom and I was like, oh, I want to be a housewife. I don't know. And for the longest, I'm still stuck like that till today. I am. I was like, I want to excel because when you accomplish something, it feels so good. But I don't want to be that woman where I'm looked at as like, so masculine, because I'm married now. So I do let my husband play his role. Exactly. I let him do his man thing and I sit back and I trust him. Absolutely. And I know where my place is, but I will be lying if I said that I don't crave to be like the alpha sometimes. Yeah, I crave to like get out there to work to like I crave that. But now I learned that I can have it all. I just have to manage it and make sure my household isn't suffering. And I think a lot of women don't believe that. They don't trust it. That's because they don't you have to be patient. You have to be patient and you have to stop wanting everything. You have to be patient. You just have to sit back and you just have to realize what do you really want instead of what the social media telling you that you want. So that's the thing.
Knowing yourself, loving yourself, trusting yourself are some of the most important things that you can do.
Respecting yourself.
Yes, in your life. For me, most of my life I had very low self-worth. I had a lot of self-worth issues. Yeah, and it's a mix of things, right? It's a mix of being told I was ugly growing up, and it's a mix of just like guys using me, I would really, really like guys I'd be in a relationship just to find out that they were just in it for the sex.
But do you think that you kind of felt like that because your mom wasn't there the way she was supposed to be there? Do you think that's why a lot of that stuff happened? Because you didn't have that mother figure to
Honestly, I don't think you need both parents to really be able to have self-worth at a young age. But my dad didn't do a lot to build my self-worth up. Okay. But you do need, I think, someone to build you up and kind of help guide you to know, hey, you're valuable. This is why you're valuable. These are the ways that you can consider yourself valuable. It was, and I had to learn this lesson of self-worth through the different relationships I had. And that's why the guys that I was dating, they were not good at first. And it isn't until recently.
So what drawn you to them though?
I had a lot of trauma and self-hurt. And it's the trauma I realized that I was trying to do is I was always trying to fix or help. I was always helping men.
Oh, and that's a no-no.
But
yeah,
I didn't.
I know a lot of them. I was like that. I know a lot of damaged women.
Fix you because I know I can do it. Look, I can even fix myself.
But you know what that comes from is you needing help as when you were younger and no one was there to help you. So now you're in a position to help and you're like, oh, I know what it feels like to not have help. Let me help you. But not everyone deserves, right, to have your grace because some people may take advantage of it. Some people don't have the best intentions. Some people, for various reasons, they may not be. They may be deserving for a short period of time, but after a while it expires. It's not a long-term thing. But I had to relearn this lesson again and again with different people. I would go date people and I would just be like, why? It must be me, because people would be like, you're so cute. Why are you single? And when I say I have so much fun when I'm single. I love being by myself. I don't have to answer.
Learn to be by yourself.
I don't have to answer to anyone what I'm doing, where I'm going, what my plans is. I'm just flowing. I'm just living. But no, I had to keep learning the lesson of self-value. And that's why, like, now I am very blunt and upfront of my expectations.
As you should be.
You know,
right.
for like, if we're just dating, we're just getting to know each other. But if we're in a relationship, there is more responsibility and expectations. People always say you shouldn't have expectations for other people. No, you should be very clear, if you do have any, what they are.
But you know what? I try not to have like the whole like expectations things. If you are not like moving in that direction already and you're not doing it physically, I'm not gonna fuck with you. Like, if I don't see you working towards there, like I'm not asking you to be doing all this and making all this money when I meet you. But if I'm with you and you're not even moving in that direction, you're not even taking steps there, I'm not gonna mess with you. Absolutely. Because if you're not doing it now, you ain't gonna be doing it 5 years from now. That's what I believe. So if you're not moving in that direction now and you're not showing me that you on your way up, then why are you talking to me? We don't got nothing to talk about.
To really like piggyback off what you said, learn your self-worth over time.
That was something I dealt with, especially like in my marriage, because TMI, no TMI. Okay.
Like that.
I was in an abusive marriage, okay? And a lot of people didn't know that, because on social media, they were like, oh my God, y'all look so happy, y'all this and that. I'm like, what do y'all not know? I was getting my ass beat.
Because I damn sure thought you was happy. I'm not gonna lie. When
Girl,
I saw the pictures, I was like, oh my God,
ghetto,
I'm so happy.
okay? Ghetto. Getting my ass beat, all right? And I kind of saw the signs before, but I was like, okay, maybe, people will change over time. Went on deployment. We ain't gonna talk about that, okay? And then coming back, I get married, and I think that opened up for him to be more comfortable with himself and to really show his ass, okay? So to me, with all this going on, I'm like, what am I doing wrong? I'm legit like the perfect wife, cooking, cleaning. I'm still in the military. I'm doing everything, handle this down top of the third. What is your reason for always putting your hands on me? And for me, I still could not leave, because I'm like, what is it? Is it really me? I'm like, damn, it really gotta be me. Like, I'm doing something wrong. And that's how I knew like something was wrong. I'm like, it's not me. And I'm like, I don't know how to get out of it, but I'm still learning how to like still get out of that marriage. Because I'm like, and it was hard to get out something like that, because I'm still trying to build myself up while he was still knocking me down every time. So it was such like a roller coaster on getting out of there. But the last time it took was him putting his hands on me while my god kids were there. And I went like mommy mode or something. And I was like, this is it. Call police, chain of command, woo. And even till then, with him even still being in jail, my self-worth went down again, because he made me feel like shit. I almost committed suicide, because it made me feel like what he was doing was my fault. And because he wanted to commit suicide, he put it on me like it was my fault. It was all my fault. And I'm just like, that was like probably like the lowest point in my life. And I was about to get out the military too. So I was like, wow. It was a lot. So that self-worth, that value in myself, I had to learn, and I'm still learning to this day, because that's something I have to constantly battle. So I get triggered by that a lot. So with certain men and expectations, stuff like that, I have to learn what I can deal with and what I can.
But the fact that you blamed yourself, and that's what I mean, like how young women, like, they really don't be knowing. Like, when people are acting out like that, that ain't got shit to do with you.
Right.
Like,
that's something I have to learn.
Yeah, that you gotta learn. Yeah. Like, and there's actually a lot of young women who go through abusive relationships, and they're just boyfriend and girlfriend. But they need to know that, like, your man punching you in your damn eye, that is not the answer to nothing.
I chose life over death. Y'all hear me? I chose to live. I did not want to die, because there was moments where we had arguments. There was no arguments. Next thing you know, he just hit me out of the freaking nowhere. And I'm, balled up. And I'm like, what am I doing?
Hell, yeah.
What am I doing wrong? Why can I not leave? Why can I get out of it? And it's not nothing like my mother never told me. Of course, never let no man put his hands
on you. Yeah.
I never told her. So like, towards the end of it, I didn't tell nobody in my family till the end.
Do you think it's because like you're embarrassed and you don't want to be looked at as like weak or stupid or something?
Yeah, it's like, to me,
because that's how people look at you.
I would never be that female to let a man put his hand, like, y'all.
And that's how people look at you. Like, they're like, oh my God, leave. But when you're in it, it's not that hard. When you're actually, I mean, it's not that easy.
It's hard.
When you're going through it.
Just sitting in the car, I'm just knots and blood. And you just be like, what is it that's keeping me here? Because love is not enough for you to stay in some shit like that. So
never
really,
enough.
I had to keep talking to someone like, yo, like, what is your purpose? What is your value? Like, you know better. So that took time to get out of it.
Now that is a good example, like especially for and it's real, and you were so transparent, so that's bomb. And I think like with the whole like a young woman learning her value, that's like a major thing, because like I know young women are going through a lot of like these abusive relationships, and it's like they really don't know when to leave, because it's just like, well, a lot of them feel like they really have to have that person, or they really have to have that lifestyle that person is providing, or they really want something in that situation so bad, but they're not realizing that your self-worth is like is above all that shit.
Yeah,
like it's above all of it. And I think a lot of young women, they don't realize that. Like they don't realize that shit at all. And then like how you said how like you felt like you were getting used in relationships like that. I just think like, you know, from an outsider looking in, I just think like that's probably, I would say that's a lack of like your mom not being there, because it's like you trying to play mommy, kind of like what you said, like you trying to play mommy to other people, like, you know, and that's not your job.
It wasn't like that for all relationships, because it was just be guys that would lie to me, and you know, I wasn't skilled or experienced enough to know that what they were saying, or this is common game. Like I was not taught the game at all. I had to figure the game out the long way. So
okay, yeah, that's true.
But I do want to say, I think the value of a woman really depends on what she finds important at the end of the day. You know, like it's not even how much feminine energy you have, because there are women who have lots of masculine energy and people love them for that.
Yeah.
It's not how much you've refrained from sex. It's not how much how well you can do your makeup. It's none of that. It's really, I think your value comes in how much you feel you value yourself.
Yeah. And I also think it plays like I don't, obviously young women, they don't know how to choose their value these days, because a lot of it is just real messed up. And I think like if I wanted to choose, like if I had a chance to choose, like let's just say like 100 little girls, and I'm like, this what y'all gonna value, and I had to tell them, I would probably say you need to value yourself mentally. Your, like the way you feel mentally, you need to make sure you value that, because you want to be positive at all times. You need to value respect, so people can respect you all times, and you need to value yourself physically. So I would say those things to like these young girls out here, and I would like try to like teach them that, like, you know, there's no material that there should be nothing material that can cause you to like do something stupid or just choose like the wrong way. So like as in you know, like you want to live this way, but you know you got to do some fucked up shit to get it. Like that shit's not cool. Like,
I think that's something that go back to too. Like, you know, we was in boot camp and our senior told us, which I live for to this day, even in the military, even outside.
Yeah.
They're like, you know, when you hit the fleet, either you're gonna be a bitch or you're gonna be a hoe.
Yeah.
And I'd rather be a bitch, because at least you get respect.
Yeah.
Versus you just laying down.
And they sure did tell us that you either gonna be a bitch and you either gonna be a hoe. And when you are in a male dominated
you have
space,
to be a bitch.
you gotta kind of pick your side, because they gonna try you. You gonna get tried, and the way you respond to you getting tried is gonna get them their answer.
And that's why it comes down to that. Like, why do I have to be a bitch for you to respect me?
Yeah.
I'm not saying you have to be a hoe.
Yeah.
But like, why does it take that? You know what I'm saying?
I think there are definitely strategies and ways to maneuver it, because I have been able to figure out how to be feminine and be soft and still get the results that I'm looking for out of men who may be stubborn or, you know, of that nature. But we'll have more strategies on how to implement that on maybe a future episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I like that.
I agree with that. It's just certain ways how you, I think military wise, that's how we stuck it like that. You either had to be this way or this way.
This way, yeah.
But I like how you did that. Like,
yeah, that was good.
strategize.
I like that.
Yeah.
You
So
gotta be feminine. Absolutely.
Yeah, I like that.
we hope that
What do you say? Feminine and soft, girl. Soft.
yes,
But
feminine energy.
but you know why a lot of young girls don't value that softness. Like, we're supposed to be soft and beautiful, and I think they don't value that because everything is like. How do I want to say this? I'm bossed up, bitch. That's what it is now. I'm this, I'm that. I'm having fun.
Some people,
I'm shaking it.
It's like some people being feminine or submissive, it looks weak to some people.
Wait,
It do.
what?
Yeah, I've heard
I
that.
was about to
I've
say-
heard that.
And
I've heard
it's
that.
not meant to be that way, but to other people, they look like because I'm submissive to a man, or
It make you look
submissive,
weak.
or I'm just too girl. I look weak. That's why people have this hard ass exterior.
I've heard
all
that.
the time.
Look,
I have heard that.
but listen,
I've heard
I just
that.
kind of want to. The new trend now is having a soft life, right? But it's not, and a lot of times people want. You know what soft life is?
Yeah, I seen it.
Yeah, so that's the new trend. People actually want to embrace being more feminine, being more soft, but the whole concept really becomes a little unrealistic because it's basically they want their life funded. They want to experience luxury without doing anything in
Without doing
exchange.
anything. But you know, this is the thing though, that
It's
that
possible,
whole
but-
new soft era, that soft girl thing. The thing to me is like that shouldn't even be a damn trend. Women, we
we
supposed
wanna
to
be
be.
soft.
You should want to be that
But we
shit
have to be-
anyway.
we have to be like a
you should
boss.
want to be that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
But
we
back
want to
to
be like
your
that.
who said how you're looked at as weak if you're like submissive. So you know, just a quick little quick little story real quick. I was I think we were having like a friends and family get together at my parents' house. You know, I had my friends over. And I made my man a plate. I made my husband a plate, y'all.
should.
He was sitting down, and I gave it to him. I served it to him. That's my man. Shit. My friend came to me, and she goes, she whispered. She was just like, "Did you just make his plate?" I said, "Absolutely, yeah." She was like, "He can't make his own." And I was like, "What's the issue?" I was like this. I was like, "So what's the issue?" She was like, "Well, I'm just saying." And I was like, "Well,
Just
I'm his
saying
wife
what?
and I'm going to make his damn plate. And if you
Wait.
want another one, while I'm eating, I'm going to get up and I'm going to make him a goddamn another one."
But-
And then she was like, "Oh, I didn't mean to get you." Because y'all know I got real, like,
real
I got
quick.
real
Like, what you
defensive.
mean?
She was like, "Oh, no, it's not like that." Well, how else is it like? Like, it
But
can only be one way.
I'm just confused why
Yeah,
she
that happened
even
to
brought
me.
it up. Like,
Yeah.
what?
She said that. She
But
was
I
like,
don't know. I
"What?"
come up from, like I said, a
Yeah.
background where
And
you,
it's different. Y'all are
yeah.
naturally, and I'm saying like,
And it's
all
crazy
based
because
on
her
foundation.
parents are married though. That's the thing. She came from a 2-parent household and things like that. So I'm like, you asking me this shit?
I would have been like, my man can make his own plate, but I'm going to make his
Yeah. And she was like, well, he don't want to do it. So in that moment, she didn't say she viewed me as weak, but come on, let's be honest.
Yeah.
She assumed I was. She was thinking it. But I'm like, that's not weak. So like, this is how I'm taught. Like, if I got a man that's appreciating me and doing what he gotta do and everything he's supposed to do, then you damn right I'ma serve his ass. But yeah, she sure did, y'all. I was like, what? I had to remember where I was at.
I would just laugh and be like, you'll get it one day.
Yeah, that's why I
You'll
was
get it
like,
one day,
what?
maybe.
I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, I'm not about to.
Yeah.
What?
But you know what I noticed though, as I was growing up, like even in high school, I wasn't sexually active at all in high school.
Sure wasn't.
And I know a lot of boys broke up with me, y'all, because I wasn't having sex. They used to be like, oh, come on. I lost boyfriends because I wasn't having sex. And because I wasn't really focused on that. I was
on
basketball. I was
sports.
like a tomboy.
Thank you.
Like, y'all, they used to call me the girl with too much muscle. You're a man. But it's okay because I'm hot and they'll be all on me now. But
Okay.
whatever. It's
The whole
cool.
meal.
Different story. Right. But my value was in my health at an early age. And people say, oh, you look so good at that. But my value was in my health because my dad taught me that. And then, when I got to college, I lost my virginity, blah, 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 whatever. And then, I was in a relationship at the time. So I was like, okay. And then when I lost my virginity, when I got to college, that's when like a different kind of bulb just kind of clicked. Like when I thought I knew value as a young girl, now that I lost my virginity, it's like I automatically became a grown woman. So now my value was like, it's like I woke up like, okay, what the fuck am I doing? Like everything changed for me. And I was like, okay, well, I know what type of family I come from. I know how I was raised. I need to slow the fuck down. And that's after one person. Like, so I was really in my head like, oh my God, I gotta be this. I gotta, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you know, I would say young girls, instead of valuing that social media and sex and want to be cute and wear them little ass clothes, how about you value your health? And how about you value what you look like, your fitness, like like what are you feeding into your body? And I feel like that in a lot of homes, that shit isn't being taught. Girls want to go out and they want to do this, they want to do that. But the real problem is, like, let's talk about you. Instead of going to all these parties, why don't you go to the gym? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Like, change your values, because when you change your values, you change your surroundings. You just see things differently. And I think a lot of young girls, they don't value fitness. They don't value their health, but they value BBLs and all this other stuff. Now, look, I'm not against BBLs. There ain't nothing wrong with it. But I'm just saying, there's young women out there who just value they value stuff that they shouldn't value at a young age. And then as they grow up, they wonder why this guy did that, or, you know, they got treated like this. Why he not doing this? Why they not in this position? It's because what you value, that's what's going to surround you.
I 100% agree.
So, yeah. So,
I agree with you the last 20 minutes.
the last one, I know y'all was hating. Well, I ain't like y'all for in a little bit. Y'all.
We just had difference of opinion.
We did. And that's good, because if it was all the same, it'd be a little whack.
No, we'd be like, well, we
Like, yeah, me too, girl. Yeah, we'll be like a whole damn Me Too thing. But yeah. Ain't that the truth? I swear.
So I guess this is our first episode.
Our first episode.
Yes.
Oh my
So we
gosh.
hoped you liked the conversation and tune in to the next Yet Here We Are.
Oh yeah, and don't forget they gotta follow us. We got an Instagram. So follow us at Yet Here We Are Podcast. Write it, type it just like I said it, Yet Here We Are Podcast. And it will also be somewhere on the screen. When he edited it, it'll be somewhere. It'll be somewhere on the screen. It'll be somewhere. But yeah, thank you so much. And our guest, you got any last words? Thanks for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
I am here for all the crazy topics, okay?
We love you.
And I will tell y'all the truth every time, okay?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes,
love you.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, for real. You
and if you love her, show us in the comments.
Absolutely,
I know, right? Show us in the
Subscribe,
comments.
like. What is the protocol? That's it, right?
Yeah, that's what they do on YouTube. Subscribe. Yeah, subscribe, like.
subscribe.
Yeah.
Share.
Yeah, share. Yeah.
Sharing is caring.
Share. And then they got the little bell ding.
Like little notification, little thing.
Yeah, one of them.
But love y'all.
Love you.